Some of the biggest rappers in the industry are currently locked up behind bars, just like Tay-K, who once had the #1 song in the world, but will now serve the rest of his life in prison.
You're young, but you're gonna have to make better choices. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna sentence him to 80 years in the prison, give him credit for any time served.
However, there are rappers facing life in prison for taking out another rapper, this being Yungeen Ace Ksoo.
Jacksonville rapper Yungeen Ace arrested by Jacksonville Beach police around midnight.
Hakeem Robinson has been arrested in the 2019 Adrian Gaynor.
Yeah, back behind.
New information coming out of Jacksonville today reveals the truth about Foolio's passing. Investigators in Jacksonville are starting to hear rapper Ksoo played a role in the passing of Foolio. Being a main member of ATK, there's news of him adding money to the hit pool, a collection of money for bounties to deal with their ops. This raised a major flag in the court file because of the evidence from a gang member claiming there was a $10,000 bounty for Foolio.
Hey, on everything I love, bro. On the dead homies, bro. I put it on everything, on my soul, on my kids. I'm the one that smacked Foolio that night when he got at his birthday celebration, bro. You feel me? I ain't gonna show my face and give my identity away or nothing like that, but you know, I did that, you feel me? It was money on his head, you feel me? I rock with Ace and them boys, you feel me? ATK, you feel me? I be in Jacksonville heavy, you feel me? If you know, you know. But yeah, you feel me? I did that, you feel me? I handled that, cause, you know, Ace had that money on his head, you know, Ace had them put that 10K up, told me to slide, told me to cause you know he got tired of that nigga running his mouth playing all the time, you feel me? So what had to be done, you feel what I'm saying? So I just handled it, you feel me? It was what it is, bro.
Yungeen Ace and Ksoo are longtime friends and close affiliates from Jacksonville's ATK team. Their relationship is rooted in street and music ties, with Ksoo seen as one of Ace's most loyal associates during the height of ATK's beef with Foolio's crew. But here's where it gets interesting. Ksoo is currently serving a life sentence for a separate M charge, but also being charged for the passing of Adrian Gaynor, otherwise known as Bibby, who was like a little brother to Foolio.
Every day after school, he'll come to me, like, he coming straight to me, we chopping it up, we speaking, like, you know, just regular shit. They walk in the house, we dap each other. I'm like, what's up, little bro? What you been on? Like, he telling me I went to school with, bro. And guess what school he was going to? I'm like, look, bro, I love you, bro. Be safe, you know? And that's how it always ends. Like, with so many people with me, like, they last word with me be, I love you, be safe. You know what I'm saying?
But it's important to watch his facial features when Vlad mentions Ksoo's name being arrested for the passing of Bibby.
There was a rapper named Ksoo.
Yeah.
Who basically was posting videos bragging about, you know, different KTA members, or I mean, whatever you want to call it, and he's talking about f***ing Bibby.
Yeah.
And he actually got arrested for a Bibby.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I don't know why you would commit a murder and then go on the internet and brag about it. It just makes absolutely no sense.
Making it very clear these two were rivals. However, there's one viral reply reading, "Am I the only one who thinks Ksoo and Yungeen Ace wanted Foolio gone as soon as possible before Foolio got the chance to retaliate for what they did to his lil bro? Because Jacksonville police think the exact same thing. It would be shared on the news. Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters sends a PSA to Yungeen Ace and his crew ATK after Foolio's hitters were caught."
So Yungeen Ace has long been known in Jacksonville. We are consistently monitoring those groups. We have people that are always watching them. I won't speak to the chief's investigation. That's up to TPD. We don't have an investigation on him right now, but he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing about it. And that's for the betterment of our community.
However, when you add the evidence of Yungeen Ace on top of Ksoo's, you begin to learn the truth. Yungeen Ace to be arrested in 2026. The sheriff announced several crimes in the area are due to Yungeen Ace and his team. ATK, expect a RICO. This had Yungeen Ace getting exposed in the Foolio trial. The news wrote, "Witness who partied with Foolio the night of his passing reveals she dated Yungeen Ace's brother, Trevon Bullard. Fans believe testimony during Alicia Andrews' trial will lead to ATK RICO."
Some point when you were younger, did you date someone who was associated with a rapper by the name of Yungeen Ace?
Yeah.
What is Yungeen Ace's real name?
Keontae.
Is that Keontae Bullard?
Mm-hmm.
And who were you dating that was related to Mr. Bullard?
Trayvon.
How is Trayvon Bullard related to Keontae Bullard?
They're brothers.
When did you date him?
In 2018.
And did something happen to him?
Yeah, he passed away.
When did he pass away?
June 5th, 2018.
And how did he pass away?
He got.
Was that a part of this rival?
I'm assuming.
This had a viral tweet from someone following the case saying that the trial is crazy. The feds are watching. Whoever Yungeen Ace is, they're drafting up a RICO. They said ATK stands for Ace Top Getting. To further show that Ace knew what was going on, he texted one of the suspects who did the crime a picture to make fun of Julio.
The state presented a picture from Gathwright's cell phone taken one day after the showing a bottle of Don Julio. The detective testified that, based on knowledge, this represents an insult to the rapper Julio Fulio.
This case got Ace to begin panicking because he quickly tweeted out that he was ending his team, ATK, by saying, "Ain't no such thing as ATK no more. That stuff is gone and over with." He even made an Instagram video speaking on it.
I say no more ATK, it ain't no more. What you talking about? Niggas don't do shit. Niggas don't do shit. Niggas tripping. Everybody always got shit to say. These niggas. When the time for the lawyers to be paid, where the niggas be at? Got all this shit to say, where the niggas be at though? Where the niggas need to get buried? When the time to spend that money, where the niggas be? Always got shit to say, but don't be on shit, man. They don't get no feet wet or nothing, man. You niggas be talking, man. What's wrong with these, man? Talking about uncomfortable, don't talk like me. Don't get the man. When I say no more ATK, ain't no more.
But in court, the prosecutors are still claiming that Ace is still a part of ATK, no matter what he said about ending the team.
So sorry, not the meaning of ATK, but that Yungeen Ace is a part of ATK. Did you say whether you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. ATK and 6 Block, do those two groups get along?
No.
Charles Jones, just for the jury, is a part of 6 Block, is that correct?
Yeah.
And Yungeen Ace is a part of ATK, is that correct?
Yeah.
And to your knowledge, Alicia Andrews is not a part of either of those groups, correct?
I don't know her.
Alright.
Miss Albritton, going back to these drill rap videos, in particular the song of Charles Jones about your boyfriend, is that When I See You? Is that the song that you're talking about?
I guess, yeah.
And that's one of the music or drill rap videos that you don't like, is that correct?
I don't care for them.
With them cracking down on Ace, they forced him to cancel his tour dates in an attempt to limit his income. Clearly, it's working because Ace got on a live stream to complain about it.
Jacksonville police and I don't know how they be doing this, but they always call around and cancel my shows. What's up with y'all? What's going on? Why y'all want to cancel my show? I don't even live there in Jacksonville. Why y'all want to cancel my show? Why y'all trying to my money? Yeah, man, y'all trying to my life. Cause y'all worry about what I got going on. I ain't fucking with y'all. Y'all canceled all my shows, but I just had a show in Temple. Y'all got my show canceled in Tampa. I had a show in Virginia. I called, got my show canceled up. I had a show in Gainesville. Y'all canceled my show in Gainesville before. Daytona. You feel me? Like, what's really going on?
But there's no helping Ace because he thinks he's untouchable. For example, he got on an interview with DJ Academics after the passing and laughed when Academics asked if he was involved. He's literally incriminating himself because he can't hold back the joy it brought him when Julio was taken out.
I mean, some people feel like you were behind that.
I'm sure, but people feel like I'm behind a lot. Well, I'm not. I'm not behind. I'm working. I'm grinding every day. I'm grinding. I got a family. I'm working. I'm grinding. I'm trying to be big. I'm trying to be big.
However, we saw another video of the Jacksonville police blaming Yungeen Ace and his team ATK for a lot of crimes.
Furthermore, it was found that the shooters are members of or affiliated with rival gangs of Jones that go by ATK and 1200. Jones was part of the 6 Block. detectives believe that the ATK and the 1200 worked together to target Jones as part of an ongoing feud in Jacksonville.
There's an entire trail of coincidences and evidence that lead you to believe that Ace was the one who ordered the hit. Not only did he message with other street members, but he also got called out for putting tens of thousands on Julio Fulio to be dealt with. Although, to understand it all, we need to review the police file. It begins by reading that Julio Fulio was caught in an ambush by rival members in Tampa. It was supposed to be a celebration for Julio's birthday, but it quickly turned into the worst weekend. Julio really wanted to throw a big party for his birthday, so he rented out an Airbnb for the weekend and posted on Instagram when he got there, telling everybody to pull up.
Hey, the pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now. The pool party start at 5, 6 o'clock. DM me for the address or DM Fulio Booking ESPN. I'm gonna put it right here. We just got here, bruh. You got to add it. You got to add it, man. Push up. We just got to this bit. Tampa, Florida, man. You already got to add it to the pool party. Push up at 5:30, man. Push up at 5:30, man. We finna get everything right. Push up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, man. It's up.
The party only lasted a couple of hours after the cops were called for a noise complaint. The police showed up to the party and called the landlord of the home, who quickly kicked them out of the crib. But Julio didn't want the party to be short-lived, so he found a nearby club for everybody to go to. The only problem with this is that he posted the literal address to the club, letting everybody know where he was going. Once he arrived, he took another video where he said he was going to the upstairs lounge.
We came deep for my birthday, man. Everybody coming up the stairs. No cap, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We deep as 20 deep, lit everywhere we go.
Just off a simple Google search, everybody was aware of where Julio was in real time, which is usually something rappers never do. They typically go out somewhere and post where they were at the end of the day, or post it the following day to avoid people being able to track where they are. However, this gave Julio's ops plenty of time to make a plan while he continued partying at the club. It only took the crew 30 minutes before having 2 of their members parked outside the club waiting for Julio to leave. Once the party came to a close in the early morning hours on Sunday, they needed to find a place to sleep for the night. His manager found a nearby Holiday Inn down the street, and they began heading over. While his manager was inside and buying rooms for everybody, Julio and his crew were sitting outside where, in a matter of minutes, 2 cars pulled up to do the crime. 3 men came on foot from the side parking lot with the main objective of taking out Julio.
At 4:38, 3 exited a vehicle and walked in the direction of the hotel. They murdered Jones with a handgun and 2. This barrage of fire also struck 3 additional victims who miraculously survived this incident. Let's look at this video. This is at the hotel, and you can see the shooters are getting in position for their planned out.
Within a few minutes, they were off the scene, and inside the courtroom, we heard Fulio's cousin describe what happened. As the news reported, Fulio's cousin, who was in the car with him, couldn't stop his tears while describing his final moments.
Okay. So you fell asleep after that, after he came back to the car, or you started dozing?
Yes.
Can you just tell the jurors what you saw inside of the car at that point? You said you saw Fulio laid out.
Yeah, first thing I saw Fulio laid out. I thought it was a car until I looked up, saw the booze, and I saw Jacob yelling.
Okay, so you thought it was a car accident, and then you looked up, saw the holes, and you saw Zay. Is that Xavier Edwards?
Yes.
You saw him covered in.
Yes.
Okay, so he wanted you to look at his head because he thought he had been hit, and then when you tried to do that, you saw the in your arm.
Yes.
Where were you?
Like on my.
Okay.
Close to my shoulder.
Do you still have a scar from that? Okay. Do you recognize that as Charles Jones' black Charger?
Yes.
Okay. You okay?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yes.
Do you recognize the photograph?
To make it known this was in the making for some time, Yungeen Ace dropped a song titled Do It as a direct diss track to Julio Fulio on the same day. One of Ace's closest members also put on his Instagram a tweet from King Von which read, "Game over, we won, stupid." To really reference Julio in the lyrics, Ace purposefully spun lyrics Julio rapped previously. Julio originally rapped the lyrics, "Went out to eat on his birthday. 4 hit, 3 passed in the worst way. He kept dissing on me, now we hitting 23. And Yungeen Ace flipped some of those lyrics and rapped, 4 in the car and 1 of them gone, 3 got hit. But something really interesting is Ace's mother is in on it too. Ace jumped on a live with his mother and she began making fun of Julio.
These are my best friends.
Hey, chat, y'all know what's going on though. Y'all stop playing with us, Talib. You came from the churches, but you know the go to boy for get on your boy.
And we want to get that down. Fulio, Ludio, whatever it is.
Cheers.
Although it's rumored they went after Julio's mother too because it was announced. Julio's mom says she was targeted 8 times and allegedly named Yungeen Ace as the culprit.
So now she's a mother. She's not involved. She was a nurse or whatever the case is. This is what I hear. She got 8 times. The police showed up and asked her, "Hey, ma'am, who shot you?" Guess who she allegedly said shot her? Allegedly, she said, "I got shot by Yungeen Ace." Yungeen Ace was on some type of supervised release at the time. Police go, I guess his probation officer say, "Yo, you got to come in now." And they're about to lock up Yungeen Ace for shooting Fulio's mom.
But it would also be this moment when the feds got someone in ATK to snitch on why Fulio was targeted. They explained that Julio was in the process of being set up for a long time. They created a plan to trick Julio into believing that ATK wanted to end the crime in Jacksonville. They floated the idea of creating a song with Julio for them to make peace, but it was all a setup.
No record. Y'all probably ain't know this. Even though I said what I said, my bro. Me and Breezy supposed to be doing a Stop the Violence song. We probably gonna get that shit in motion. So I'm gonna just get that shit out of the way for the kids, for the youth and shit. And yeah, we gotta make this look better, man.
You and Breezy have a Stop the Violence record coming.
Yeah, that shit. It's talked about. I DM'd about it. My big cousin wrote him about it too. He said he with it, I'm with it. But basically right now we trying to find a beat.
They wanted to make Julio feel like he was safe, which is why he started posting his current location online. He believed Ace and ATK that they just wanted peace and he got reckless with what he posted. But the motivation to take out Julio came from the constant crimes they committed back and forth. Most importantly, it came because of the passing of ATK Mitch. Julio Fulio was actually pulled over and put under arrest for this in 2022, where they asked him questions about Mitch's passing.
All right, so I didn't want to bring it up. I know you're gonna be upset. Mitch, there's some texts I want to talk to you real quick about what happened to Mitch.
How long that's gonna take?
Not that long. Depends on you. They just gonna ask what you know about what happened.
He was then taken to the station to be interrogated further.
I used to come to my mama's house. I used to stay on the corner. He used to come over there, show his, you know what I'm saying, support.
What type of work do you do? What type
I'm an artist. That's
You're an artist. Okay. As far as Mitch go, what are you hearing?
Nah, really, I was in Miami when I heard the news. You know what I'm saying? I was down making music, and I saw posting on Instagram, Mitch. Everybody, the whole Jacksonville, Mitch.
It didn't matter to Julio, and he wasn't willing to give up any information, but they continued to fish for any answers they could get.
All right, the reason why I'm here, I am lead on your friend's case.
Ooh.
You ain't have a friend that recently got killed?
A lot of friends that,
recently? Mitch?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm lead on that. I don't know how close you guys were. Can you kind of give me just rundown on y'all relationship when y'all met? How long y'all been partners or whatever?
Julio knew they were trying to make him slip up, and he did the best thing he could do for himself during the interrogation.
Guys, if you may know or hear something, that'd be helpful as well. Because if you know his mom, you can sit up there and call his mom, then I'm pretty sure you would want her to have some answers as well.
My little brother, I don't know who did. I don't know. I ain't here. That's what I'm saying. You'll never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. No, I just heard it. They say little brother got. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Miami at the time though.
You ain't tired of that, man?
Yeah, but I'm known to this.
However, the feds wanted to hear Julio's answer when they asked him if he thinks he causes more crime because of his music.
Do you think that your music or your ways or the way you conduct yourself through your music had anything to do with him?
Nah, because even before I was rapping, it was, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say it's my music, that's why somebody, you get what I'm saying?
okay, do you think it influenced someone or triggered someone, like the way y'all going back and forth with it? Do you feel that way?
No. A song can't make no do nothing, bro.
But with the feds knowing ATK took revenge against Foolio for Mitch, they found an Instagram live of Ace talking about Foolio. He tried speaking about him in a positive way, but you can tell it doesn't come off as genuine.
What you think about Foolio thing, cuz? That's sad, twin. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all boys in the street, y'all didn't leave the streets alone, twin. All condone is that, but y'all just gotta stay. Y'all gotta. It's so funny, cause me, bro, like we cool, like we was cool and you feel me? Me and him, like we cool. I was just so funny. I was just talking to them. I'm like, bro, you gotta stay out the way, bro. You know, love y'all here, like stay out the way, rich. Like you know, I with your rich, stay out the way.
However, Yungeen Ace and Ksoo aren't the only rappers to be in trouble for going against another artist. We saw Tory Lanez get sentenced to prison for what he did to Megan Thee Stallion.
Meanwhile, musician Tory Lanez, convicted of rapper Megan Thee Stallion, sentenced to 10 years in prison. A judge in Los Angeles handing down that sentence today, culminating a case that filled gossip pages and polarized the music industry.
Meanwhile, YNW Melly is facing life inside prison, awaiting trial for his sentence.
We're gonna have a break in the case of a double in Miramar.
2 people now behind bars, including a South Florida rapper.
That's right, and take a look here. Just moments ago, we obtained this rapper's mugshot from the Broward County Jail.
As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless.
The prosecutors just filed their last pieces of paperwork to secure Melly to life inside prison, beginning with strategically dropping his witness tampering charges when the news wrote, Melly will no longer go to trial for witness tampering after prosecutors dropped the charges. Melly's trial was scheduled to start on January 21st, but a hearing on January 20th had prosecutors dropping the case. But the reality is, this is a part of the feds' plan to ruin Melly. But Melly's lawyer responded to the dropped charges by saying, we now look forward to seeking Melly's release from custody, where he has been held under extraordinarily restrictive conditions for far too long based on premises the state has now abandoned. His release will allow him to fully and meaningfully participate in preparing his defense in the forthcoming proceedings, which we intend to litigate vigorously. But Drew will use evidence from the case to show the judge how the prosecutors are worried about going to trial. The feds had Melly's ex-girlfriend as the perfect snitch to testify against Melly for witness tampering, as they first arrested her after coming back to the United States.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
The feds have been wanting her to come forward for years, and now that she has, the feds' case has become a lot stronger. But this didn't change the public's reactions to Melly getting the witness tampering dropped, as his mother wrote, God is good and he hears your prayers. And 50 Cent wrote, Drew Findling is a bad man, beating all these cases. Although there's a special reason why the feds dropped the case so easily, because it was reported. In the 5-page memo, the prosecutors dropped the witness tampering case to avoid jeopardizing evidence in his pending Double M trial. The state moved to drop the case because suppression of jail calls remains unresolved, risking acquittal and loss of critical evidence needed for the 2027 trial. Prosecutors charged Melly with witness tampering and gang-related offenses tied to efforts to keep key witness Mariah Hamilton from testifying in his Double M case. Financial records show Hamilton received more than $31,000 from Melly's management company and associates, plus assistance purchasing a Mercedes despite no reported income. Jail calls, surveillance video, and inmate notes show Melly directed a relay system through inmates James Howard and Terrence Mathis to pass messages outside jail after losing phone privileges. But later in the memo from the court files, it reads, recorded calls and messages instructed associates, including co-defendant Bortland, to keep Hamilton away from court using coded language and nicknames. But this was all exposed by YNW Juvie's father during an interview 2 years ago.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom.
But this move was smart for the feds to do, as it gives Melly a false sense of security in his cases. Not only that, but they want to save Mariah's testimony for the case that really matters, which is the upcoming Double M trial. Not only is his ex-girlfriend testifying, but Melly's best friend and previous co-defendant Bortland is already giving the feds information because Bortland was outed for taking a plea deal. He also agreed to a proffer, which means he's talking. The sentence is for accessory after the fact, and he will do 6 more years behind bars and 6 years on probation conviction after getting credit for time served. But academics explained Bortland's deal even more by saying, the judge says on both charges Bortland pled no contest to, that he has to provide a factual basis for him to accept the plea. He has to tell the factual story of how the crime happened and how he committed accessory to the crime. It's a gonna plea, except with the proffer he can't say yes ma'am, he gotta sing like Franklin.
I did tweet out saying people are upset. I said this is a gonna plea. This is a gonna plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a gonna plea. Why do I say he signed a gonna plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they have proved, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortland, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in, oh my God, my nose. What that proved is that Bortland worked with someone after he acknowledged that a took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know, and then secondly, how do we know who did it? Because they said it was a drive-by.
Even a lawyer who looked into Bortland's plea deal says he will snitch on Melly.
He will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens. A lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve, he decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip. And it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible.
This got Melly's team pretty worried, so they created a lawsuit against the prison when it was reported. Melly sues Broward Sheriff's Office for cruel treatment and is seeking immediate release from prison. Melly also claims that they have not allowed him to see or speak with any family members in 3 years. Melly and his team say that he's living in a very cold jail cell, isn't allowed any human contact, and is eating barely edible food. This got back to Melly's mother, and she was not happy about it. An interview from Melly's mother paints a disturbing picture of Melly's life in jail, making it sound like he won't last much longer. During the interview, she claimed how he isn't allowed a phone call or to look at his mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But she continued in the interview, saying how she feels terrible for what Melly has had to go through.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
Although the lawsuit got a lot of reactions from the music industry, as we saw Charleston White say Melly deserves the bad treatment he's been getting.
Even the YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
Even rapper Boozy said that he feels bad for the stress Melly's mother has had to deal with.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
But while trying to decide on whether Melly should receive bond or not, the judge wanted to hear reasons from both sides, which led to the prosecutors revealing the messages that Melly sent, where he admitted to the crime just hours after it happened.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
They then added that Melly was dancing and was happy the following day after his two best friends had just passed.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
However, Melly was filmed again when he didn't know it. The prosecutors caught the videotape just 30 minutes before the crime happened, which shows that Melly got into the back left seat of the car. This is very important to the case because the court files read, "The direction of the rounds traveling from left to right in the car supports the claim that they originated from the back left seat where Melly was positioned." Even Juvie's mother confirmed Melly was the one who got in the back left seat.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
But Melly's lawyers responded with some evidence that provides doubt about Melly being responsible, as they mentioned how not only could the detectives not figure out which type of firearm to try to replicate the crime with, they never even found the firearm that was responsible.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
But they also shared the paperwork evidence that was found in Bortland's home, which got him arrested.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
It was reported, here are the images of notes discovered during the home raid of Bortland. The notes detailed where jurors were sitting in the courtroom along with descriptions of what each one looked like, almost making it seem like Bortland was getting ready to tamper with the jurors' outcome.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortland, how the you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy shit! Like, come the fuck on! It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro! Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
But with Bortland now on the Fed's side for a reduced sentence, he will be able to answer all the questions they want about the night of the crime, as they want to know why rapper Fredo Bang picked up Melly from the crime scene.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Gibbons. Frederick Gibbons is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Gibbons, then, about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Demons has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone call.
But the feds are trying to use a Facebook post of Melly and Young Thug being with each other to claim that Melly is in the Red Street team, as that's the team that Young Thug is affiliated with.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Okay, and these individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
Melly didn't care that the feds wanted to use this in the case, and he told his lawyers to just let them use it, but his lawyers didn't agree, which led to it being reported that Melly went against his legal team's advice, and you can tell he was mad at his lawyers.
Yes, sir. Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
People who watched in the courtroom heard Melly saying, "I don't care, I'm not in no team, they can't prove that."
I'm aware that 924-071. Call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership and again, there are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the gang enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the furtherance of the gang, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
But the feds might be using this former O-Block member's story, saying that Melly met up with King Von to ask him how to deal with people.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
However, two of the largest names in the industry, both Suge Knight and Diddy, are in prison, but they're facing new charges for what they did to Tupac.
I remember on Bob First, you actually blamed Suge for Tupac getting killed.
Yeah.
Because it should have been up to him to protect him better.
After new investigators found evidence proving who's responsible for Tupac's passing, the News wrote, "The reinvestigation of Tupac's passing is revealing new names and evidence of those involved. New name brought up is Suge Knight, which resulted in Tupac's father speaking out. It reads, Tupac's biological father says if he would have been a better father, Tupac would still be alive today because he would have never trusted Suge Knight, but because he wasn't there, he looked at Suge like a father figure."
With Suge Knight.
Right.
You know, this motherfucker acted so bad. I gotta live the rest of my life realizing that maybe if I was a better father, he might not have gotten that situation. He might have had enough wisdom to know that this motherfucker is nothing but a scoundrel. But he looked up to him like a father. Then to find out a year, 8 months later, that he's cheating him out of all of his money, that's the final betrayal.
He's speaking out due to investigators highlighting that Suge's side of the story has been strange since Tupac was targeted. People are now questioning why Suge never hired Tupac any security, especially because Suge came from a security background.
First of all, you've seen what happened. Suge understands who he's dealing with, or what that just happened with, right?
Yeah.
I would have off the top shut my artist down. And if I would have shut him down, I would have moved him in a way to where could nobody get to him. Suge, you know what you doing, don't do. Like, it ain't no security on it.
Something also weird about Suge in the case is that he claims Tupac is still alive, and that when Tupac was in the hospital, he was doing okay. When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's weird is the feds claim that Tupac was in a very deep sleep, which means Suge wouldn't have been able to talk with Tupac in the hospital. It starts to make more sense when you see the new police records, which reported Detective Russell Poole suspected that Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he could exit the label, then framed the rival Crips to throw off investigators. And the most famous Blue member in the world is Snoop Dogg, which made him the perfect person to pin the crime on. The more you investigate the situation, you find out that Snoop admitted that he was supposed to be with Tupac on the night he was hit. But 2 days before that night, he stopped being friends with Tupac.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
Snoop continued the interview by saying he was supposed to be in the BMW, but because of an argument with Tupac, he didn't go.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me, how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I told her that I liked their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
Suge and Diddy did such a good job at framing Snoop Dogg that a reaction wrote, "Is anyone going to mention how Snoop Dogg could have stopped Tupac from passing? These new files coming out are upsetting, knowing Tupac should still be alive," which came with a reaction from Faison Love.
I always felt when Pac died, it was because Snoop could have stopped that whole thing. I mean, because like I said, Snoop was a Crip. Pac offended some Crips. Doing some game, some dumb, really. It was set off a whole chain of events. In LA don't get mad, they get even. So, you want a real Pac story? That's my Pac story. Pac would be alive today if he had stayed allies with Snoop and not cross Snoop.
You have to remember that Snoop Dogg was more in the streets back in the 90s than what he is now. People suspect he might have been tipped off by other Blue Team members that they were going after Tupac soon, which is why he avoided being with Tupac in Vegas. There's even another interview of Snoop saying how Tupac suddenly hated him just 2 days before the crime.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like them. I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with them. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
But the police found evidence against Diddy which suggests he wanted to take out Tupac because he was jealous of him. And a creator made a video really explaining just how bad Diddy wanted to be Tupac.
Tupac was a shining example of everything that Diddy wanted to be. And he was that naturally. He was charismatic. He was sought after, desired. He was very well liked and a naturally likable person. He was charming. He actually had intrinsic talent. He was a star. He was what Diddy tried to force his way into becoming. Diddy, through force, through manipulation, through fear-mongering, tried to become loved and adored and liked. But all he could manage is like a twisted clone of that he was able to garner through fear. But back to my original point, he thought he triumphed over Tupac by when actually what he did was make Tupac immortal. And by Diddy continuing to live and earn more wealth and in his mind earn more adoration, he thought he triumphed. He thought he won overall.
As police files began a Diddy file with all the motives he'd have to take out Tupac, a lot of which they got out of the Diddy documentary on Netflix, but it turns out there will be more to come out about Diddy. As a tweet wrote, 50 Cent says it's not over. More unreleased Diddy footage that didn't make the Netflix documentary is coming to YouTube, including footage about how Diddy started a family with Tupac's ex-girlfriend. Diddy has a daughter named Chance Combs with Sarah Chapman from 2006, who dated Tupac in 1995. As photo evidence shows Tupac being with Sarah back in 1995, it made Diddy mad. If anyone got in Diddy's way or had something that he wanted, he instantly hated that person. Diddy has been heard in the past saying how Sarah was his dream girl. This is what led to Diddy's first attempt at taking out Tupac at a recording studio.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the book. The police found him, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
But with the first attempt being a failure, he went after Tupac again, which is the time that took him out in Las Vegas. As a cop who investigated the crime claimed Diddy paid $1 million for the hit and that Suge retaliated, taking out Biggie, as files read that Diddy hired Keefe D to get Tupac. The main reason we know this is because of Keefe D himself. Keefe D remained free for 20 years after Tupac's passing, but once he got arrested on a trafficking charge, he offered up information on Tupac's passing in exchange for having the new charge dropped. In this interrogation, Keefe D admitted that Diddy was behind the crime.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
Once this interrogation got public attention, Diddy was asked about being responsible for Tupac in an interview.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to Tupac? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
But during the Diddy trial, he was questioned on his involvement. Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's passing after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing. But in order to fully understand how Diddy got Keefe D to commit the crime, you gotta look back at the full day of how Tupac was taken out. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac was with Suge Knight in Vegas to watch a Mike Tyson match. But once the match was over, Tupac spotted an op in the lobby and began brawling with him.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security broke up the altercation not long after, and Tupac went back to his hotel to change his clothes for the night. Around 11 at night, Tupac met back up with Suge Knight, and they jumped in the BMW to head to a club, although it was at this point where Keefe D and his crew spotted them, which led to the crime happening in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
Even Keefe D himself did public interviews admitting to how he organized and committed the crime with 3 other members in the car with him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that As you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Keefe D explained how Tupac allegedly was reaching for a firearm first, but it looks like he just wanted less blame placed on him and his team because the police report there was never a firearm in the BMW.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
what
started at Tupac and Suge.
But what's interesting is that the feds knew all along that Keefe D was the suspicious person in the crime because they interrogated him on the night of the crime, but never charged him.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
But when you see a more recent interview from him, he admits he regrets what they did to Tupac.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happen. Promise to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
But things get really strange in the Tupac case when you realize there are files that suggest Tupac is alive. An officer who looked deep into Tupac revealed that he was an industry plant with a plan of stopping beef between the red and blue street teams.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda they came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this gangster type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
But obviously, this plan fell apart when Tupac began writing diss tracks about other rappers. However, the person who created the Tupac biography claimed he wasn't the right man for the job, as he claimed that Tupac didn't know how to defend himself or use a firearm.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
Tupac tried to fit the role he was assigned, but that's not who he was as a person. However, there are some concerning interviews that have taken place since his passing that suggest he may still be alive. A rapper named Tretch did an interview at an event in 2010. In case you didn't know, he used to be close friends with Tupac back in the day, but during the interview, things got weird. In the middle of the interview, the cameraman pointed the camera down and asked him about the last time he saw Tupac. Rather than being concerned why an interviewer was asking him about one of his friends that supposedly passed 14 years prior, he answered the question like it was totally normal.
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
Just a few weeks after Tretch said this, a video was released of what's believed to be Tupac in a parking lot down in Cuba.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaws. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
But it's not just the Cuba theory that makes people believe Tupac could still be alive. Not only did Suge Knight say Tupac was doing good and alive in one interview, but in another interview years apart, he said the exact same story.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
Just 2 weeks after Suge leaked it, he was targeted in a club by a man who used a firearm in his direction 6 times. Suge Knight believed this was because of him talking about Tupac and was scared for his life, so he didn't tell the police anything and stopped talking about Tupac. But what's interesting is Suge's son would make the same mistake. He posted on Instagram claiming that Tupac was alive and in Malaysia, but it quickly got Suge Jr. a text message on his phone which said, "You said too much. Time for you to go." This got Suge's son worried, and he posted pictures of Tupac with modern celebrities like Beyonce and 50 Cent, where he captioned it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." Some people believe this was all a publicity stunt for Suge's son to get attention, but other people believe him, considering his father was one of the closest people to Tupac and would know the most about him. However, Lil Durk's prison situation is unlike anything we've ever seen.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
Lil Durk just had his biggest court hearing leading up to his trial, but it didn't end well for him. The judge ended the court hearing by allowing the prosecutors to use all the evidence they want against Durk, even allowing them to show footage of King Von passing to prove Durk's motive for wanting revenge.
Testimony and video surveillance surrounding the death of King Von, and the motion to exclude this evidence was denied, meaning the judge is going to allow witnesses to testify about and allow the video of King Von's be played at the trial. And this is important because the prosecutors wanted to use this evidence to argue that King Von is the reason or motive as to why Durk offered this bounty on Quando Rondo. And so with this ruling, the jury will get to see and hear about all of that.
They're allowing it for 2 reasons. One being when Von passed, a lot of ops were celebrating it. They claimed this fueled Durk to go out and get revenge.
When you heard that, considering the back and forth that y'all have had and in your own ways, how did you feel?
So I kind of happy.
You were happy?
Can I say I was kind of happy? No, no, seriously, I was though. It was up. That, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he did. But I was happy as when I found out Von was dead. I cooked for the whole day. For all the people out.
When you looked at King Von getting, how did you feel? Considering the animosity between you guys up to that point.
Like my real first action.
Yeah.
Thought. I was happy.
You're happy.
I was happy.
However, the second reason they're going to show King Von's passing is because the judge just allowed certain lyrics to be used against Durk. The lyrics, quote, "They be on my page like slide for Von, I know they trolling me. Y'all don't know that's how it's supposed to be." They're connecting it to Durk's interview he did with DJ Academics when he brings up the slide for Von comments himself.
You get triggered by the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They be like, they be saying slide for Von. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water.
Him mentioning it during an interview will give the prosecutors leverage, as it proves he's fully aware of the slide for Von comments, then backed it up with lyrics in a song. The next lyrics are, "Don't respond to things with Von, I'm like screw it. You're tripping, go get your stick. They dropping locations, I'm getting it done. Forget tweeting, we're sliding, the feds are coming." They're claiming this confirms Durk's entire motive of not responding to Von comments, grabbing his firearms, and getting the job done.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
While many claim lyrics can't be used against you in court, they actually can. It's just rare for it to happen, but when it does, it's a major problem. However, before the court hearing ended, Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork to have him released from jail on house arrest. They used his current jail situation as leverage to try getting a release by reporting. The Chicago rapper's legal team filed a request for a status hearing regarding Durk being detained in a special housing unit without due process since August 29, 2025. Durk is confined to a very small jail cell, just large enough for a single bed, a toilet, and a sink for 23 hours a day. But the court files continued writing, he does not have access to commissary. He is permitted 1 phone call a month and no in-person social visits. He was originally placed in a special housing unit as punishment for being in possession of an Apple Watch. However, Durk's attorneys claim that the infraction has still not been reviewed by the unit discipline committee to determine proper disciplinary action, which would normally happen within 5 working days. Even inmates from Durk's jail heard about this situation and spoke about his case on the phone.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS. And right now we're gonna show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
This led Durk's team to post a message on his Instagram story stating, "Crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark out to see who really with you," because Durk felt so alone because all the rappers have been leaving his side.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the went on tour with, did songs with, called you they brother, they twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rappers try to India. These are down low and dirty. And I think this is what, I think Durk right now is thinking that, man, I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And I feel bad for Durk. When King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Free him! Free him! Free him! Oh, nah. Everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free... not Smart. No, free Slime. Durk got locked up. They might give that half a bar. Free Smirk. And they moved the... I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have sent lawyers. Good for that. But Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning because you locked up.
With the way that everyone's been leaving Durk's side, academics claims Durk won't be the same type of person when he gets out.
Let me tell y'all, the Durk y'all loved when he was free, if he gets back out again, he'll never be that Durk. I'm gonna tell you why. He done learned a lot of lessons. This is me assuming. Nothing he's told me. But the things that he did for others. Y'all know when he came on my podcast, right? And he said, man, yo, Gunna's a snitch. I can't Gunna. Man, that. I don't care. I love Thug. He said that because Thug told him. Yo, what Durk is realizing, Durk is a great soldier, but nobody looked at him like a leader. Durk was willing to move on behalf of the people he's loyal to when they get locked up. When he locked up, they might drop him as a bar in a song, but...
However, there's some bad-looking evidence against Durk. The prosecutors brought up this photo of Durk with $1 million. Typically, this is a picture to flex, but they noticed it was posted right around the time that people from O Block went after Quando Rondo. With it announced, prosecutors say Durk placed $1 million bounty on Quando Rondo in 2022. The discovery also shows that defendant Banks used his trusted lieutenants, defendant Wilson and co-conspirator 5, to recruit hitmen to fly to Southern California on August 18, 2022 to get Quando Rondo. Consistent with Durk's promise to reward co-conspirators, defendant Wilson solicited hitmen by promising to pay $1 million reward on behalf of Durk in exchange for flying to Los Angeles to commit the crime. But this followed with files reading, "Rewarded co-conspirators got other things," featuring in many of the participants' music videos and rap lyrics in the months following the crime. For example, one of the songs he did as a reward was "Block is Hot." Although something more concerning was revealed when the news wrote, Durk's trial prosecutors say they have several cooperating witnesses who will testify that he was the real organizer of the passings. This took Durk and his team by surprise, and it got Durk to change up his appearance on the inside because of the stress he's been going through. People at Durk's hearing today said he looked noticeably thinner and he cut his dreads. This came with a list of updates reading that the judge denied most of his motions to throw out the case. However, a motion for a bill of particulars was taken under advisement, which was when we heard a lawyer's opinion on what this truly means for Lil Durk.
I'm a criminal lawyer, and I just learned that the rap artist Lil Durk just had his motion to dismiss his for hire case denied. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. Let me tell you guys something. There's only two ways that Lil Durk is rocking out of that federal courtroom on 2 feet. A jury of 12 people says that he is not guilty, or President Trump pardons him. There's no other way that Durk is walking out of that court free. That judge is not going to be dismissing any key evidence. He's not going to be dismissing any motions. He's not going to do anything that significantly helps Lil Durk walk out of that courtroom without having a trial. Now, how and why am I so sure of this? Well, here's the first thing I want to tell you. Most federal judges used to be federal prosecutors, exact prosecutors that are prosecuting Durk. A lot of judges used to stand in that very position. Federal prosecutors can be very biased people, and very rarely, once they put on that black robe and become a judge, do they get rid of those biases, okay? That judge very likely probably thinks that Durk is guilty. He just can't be the one to actually say it.
This basically means that Durk will have to go through the trial if he wants any chance of being released, and he will have to prove himself innocent in court. But there is one exception, and creators online reacted to Durk's situation.
Remo, this is my last no jumper. Durk already told me I wasn't supposed to come back up here with that last.
Now look what happened to him.
That man got kids. You talking about look what happened to him.
Definitely not happy about him.
I wouldn't be happy if you go to jail, Adam, because I know you got daughter. Break down.
There's multiple people who are no longer there for their kids as a result of that Durk allegedly called in.
Until they put that on black and white, sir. Stop throwing stuff on a black man who's trying to do something right for the community right now.
The feds have already put out a lot of information about this.
You don't have to put it out. You don't have to put it out. So this is a major platform.
You're not the boss of me. We talk about rap on here. I think it is well within our jurisdiction to talk about the fact
jurisdiction? What type of police is
been
this?
alleged to have ordered them.
This
free smirk though.
Free
man.
smirk. But also maybe
police. It's a platform. This some police.
Just sit down for a little and decide. Hey, maybe I'm not anybody else.
We don't have no proof that.
Well.
We don't.
The one exception is that they can use the Bill of Particulars motion to force a mistrial or get Durk out on bond. The Bill of Particulars requires the prosecutors to turn over a lot of information on the case, such as the bounty Durk placed on Quando, who he contacted to set up the hit, and what each reward was for all the members. But they tried for bond one more time, and Durk's father believed they were going to get it because they made a great offer in hopes of the judge accepting it.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son, for the lease for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor, he wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's gonna give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers, and we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
But a new rat that's feeding information to the feds got them to report Durk is facing allegations from federal prosecutors that he put hits on O-Block members for not retaliating for King Von. Prosecutors plan to introduce testimony from a witness who claims Durk gave the orders. As the court documents read that Durk was feuding with Munna Duke over Durk's belief that they weren't retaliating for King Von's passing, but this got academics and WAC 100 to discuss further about what's going on with the snitches.
To life by basically saying he's guilty of for hire, and the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing. There's no message that they got that says where Durk says y'all that Quando yet. Nothing says that.
I'm not. You missing the point. Okay. They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 years. One of the is cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So
that's co-conspiracy too.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of the is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other 2 was figuring out how they getting paid.
But it was confirmed inside court that one of the snitches hasn't been totally honest with their story. According to new reports, which reveal Durk could soon be found not guilty after new court documents reveal the main witness switched up his story. He first claimed there was no bounty. Now he says there was. Sources believed it was OTF Diddy playing the feds, but it can't be because he's been trying to get himself out of the case.
And that's what Diddy did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told Diddy to hire. Diddy's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody. And I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone That's his thing.
But a new snitch is entering the case when it was announced that OTF Vonnie is now snitching because people realized the prison updated his file to show he was released from custody, meaning he is on house arrest or is fully released. But what's even funnier is that Vonnie texted a message to his friend about his plea deal options, but the friend flipped on him and leaked it. As Vonnie texted, "I'm trying to plea out to a 32, which is the base for M for hire. The max is 43, which is life. I'd get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for an early plea, -2 points for no background. I'll have 27 points, which is 5 to 7 years. I can't go to trial. I don't want them to do me like the other guys," as he refers to what happened to OTF Jam at the end of the message because he's been missing for some time. However, with Vonnie snitching out of the case, his father got on a call with DJ Academics and claimed that his son also played a part in taking out King Von and that Durk knew it was happening.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, "Is it open?" Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, "Was it open?" This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, "Was it open?" He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he died.
Academics questioned him on why Durk would want to take out one of his friends, but it makes more sense when you remember they faced a court case together. Coincidentally, a couple of months after Von passed, the case was dismissed, which leads people to believe that Durk made a private settlement with the feds to shift the blame on Von so he could remain free.
Why would Durk want Von?
All right, man. Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table and I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
dude was
thing.
a slack. Dude was a. He was signing the boys. He was a. Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
I mean, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He had a public defender."
But fans began to recognize a pattern with the times that Durk went on Instagram Live, with it reported Vonnie's dad leaking that Durk had Von dealt with is really making me wonder why Durk suddenly goes on IG Live when he's connected to someone passing. He went on live the minute King Von, Lil Pab, and FBG Duck passed away. Fans believe he uses Instagram Live like an alibi so he doesn't get questioned by the feds. However, Vonnie's father said that his son orchestrated both Lil Pab and King Von's passing.
Oh no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches of paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages. Like, that's...
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
But that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, that. And with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Baby. You orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
However, another snitch was announced, which was revealed to be OTF Diddy's younger brother, Ted. With it reported, the new Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk and members has changed this case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for extended time on their bond proposal. People got very concerned when this was announced because Diddy is Durk's main hitter, so many are scared of how much his brother Ted knows. The thing about Ted, though, is he wasn't even supposed to be involved in the case, but when he got arrested for a firearm at a store, he began snitching.
Really? Dude had a. What about that? A man had a with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
As soon as Ted got to the police station to be booked and processed, he began begging to snitch on the street crimes he knows.
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Everything. I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you, please, I swear, please.
Ted was placed in a waiting cell, and an officer came to talk to him.
Wait, hold on, you gotta relax for me, because I can't understand it. Relax. What's the number? 7 what you saying, man?
We're gonna see what we can do for you, alright?
We're gonna see what we can do for you. You gotta relax for me.
Relax, man. I'm gonna get a bus to prison. Relax.
Give me no, I'm saying, what you talking about? I'm trying to get that.
However, the next rapper is looking at a long prison sentence for multiple crimes that happened in his team. As DJ Academics has predicted, he's getting a RICO.
This morning, we have new details in the that hurt 49ers defensive end Keion White. It happened early yesterday morning at a nightclub in San Francisco's Mission District. White was hosting a Super Bowl party at Delia Lounge on Mission Street. At some point, White got into an argument involving rapper Lil Baby.
News of Lil Baby involved in an altercation with NFL player Keion White after the Super Bowl had rappers reacting. Man, I'm sick of seeing rappers tied into stuff just because they're the biggest name in the room. Because the news wrote, Lil Baby is reportedly accused of getting into a dispute with San Francisco 49ers player Keion White, who was hit a short time later. Investigators from the scene wrote details of what happened by stating, on Monday, February 9th, a Bay Area news outlet reported on the incident, which occurred during a Super Bowl after party at Dahlia nightclub. A witness tells police Lil Baby and his entourage tried to enter White's private section, which resulted in an argument between Baby and White. The witness left the level of the club to notify management when they heard 2 rounds and returned to find White hit in the leg.
Window is like right by my bed, and so I saw lights. Like I think that's why I woke up at first. I think I kind of knew that it wasn't like the most safe place, but honestly, I mean, like, it kind of seems par for the course. Like, I'm not like entirely like, how could this happen here?
However, this resulted in DJ Academics revealing what will happen to Baby.
This is on camera. They know who did it. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. If they don't arrest the person who did the person, Lil Baby's cooked. Facts. I'm gonna tell you that. If they don't arrest the person who at this club within 2 weeks, Lil Baby's cooked. I'm gonna tell you why. If they have camera proof of who did the and they don't arrest you, it's because they haven't done the case. Remember that. Just remember that. So, I just want to point this out to you. This is not the 80s. Y'all somebody in a club in an entranceway or hallway where there's cameras. I get it. Everybody done flew back to Atlanta, flew back to wherever it came from. But if there's not an arrest warrant put out in the next 2 weeks or an arrest made, just remember, this doesn't go away.
But this had viral reactions to the situation, saying Baby really just popped out on some gangster stuff and hit up an NFL player to prove he's still gangster. Although Lil Baby lost his street cred once he ended his 4PF team, because it was reported that Lil Baby ended the label in fear of it being labeled a street team.
First 4 Pockets Full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because it's all shit that be going on. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'll be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't. Right. Like if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police. It's just period. You know what I'm saying? Like I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
But Lil Baby didn't have much of a choice other than to end it because of what's going down in the Atlanta court system. Because back home in Atlanta, Lil Baby's already been getting looked into when it was reported. An investigator is on the stand. We are listening to wiretap calls. Someone mentioned that Baby had tickets on some people's heads.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested? And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
They're claiming Lil Baby put bounties on people to be dealt with, which carries a long prison sentence if he gets charged for it. Even academics revealed that the Atlanta feds have been getting ready to pursue Lil Baby in Fort PF.
So there's this journalist. He's out of Atlanta. Well-reputed journalist. His name is George Cheedy. Like, he was the person who was very accurate on predicting that YSL was going to get indicted in the RICO. He's an Atlanta journalist, certified. He's really good. He's came out and he said that the Atlanta Public Defenders Council, like the office, they're basically their specialized unit for Georgia's Public Defender's Office. The one the unit that specializes on gang cases says the office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment on the 4PF and OMF case. Now I don't know what OMF is, and that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted.
This got Young Thug to come to Lil Baby's defense as he called out the investigator for being a liar and exposing what she looks like. Even academics explain more on who Marissa is and why she's trying to lock up Lil Baby.
What Young Thug did to have and this is how you know this 4PF is real. Young Thug posted the woman. This is Marissa Vivierdo. He said biggest liar in the DA office. He posted her, okay? And then he also reposted, all my homies hate Vivierdo. Now, this is someone who is a officer of the law. This is someone who is a government official. When you do that and you're under probation, the government is going to be like, oh, you sending a smoke signal that people should hurt this woman? That's why they're doing a motion to revoke his shit. Why did he do this? Because she's testifying in the OMF case and she's basically saying, yo, OMF and 4PF, Lil Baby and them, they're beefing and is dying and indictments finna come down.
Besides Lil Baby being targeted for allegedly placing bounties on people, the police are also blaming him for another crime. The Atlanta police are calling out Baby, saying his actions led to the passing of 2 young individuals last summer. During a press conference, the Atlanta PD announced 7 arrests had been made in connection to the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Major Ralph stated the incidents were part of an altercation which started when Lil Baby was filming a music video where 3 people were injured. They added they will be working relentlessly to hold Lil Baby accountable.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
This started because Lil Baby was recording a music video on an ops block.
Between the it was nothing but
At least 25 fired.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come buy my tacos up.
The lady from the news was the same person who recorded a video and posted it to Facebook, showing that Lil Baby was at her taco shop.
Where y'all at? We over here kicking in. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. We know how we do it, that slapping taco. Baby, there he go, there he go. Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up, cause you already know how he doing this slapping tacos, baby.
But according to the police, the ops didn't know Lil Baby was there until the Facebook video went around online. Once they saw it, they pulled up to the scene with firearms, which is what resulted in the 2 people being taken out. But what's crazy is the feds are trying to blame Lil Baby for the crime when he was just doing his job. Although it's possible he's being targeted more by the feds because of what happened with Gunna snitching out the YSL trial. Young Thug even mentioned how he doesn't know where their relationship stands with him.
I just like to help people, you know.
One of those artists was Gunna. You guys did a ton of songs together.
Yeah.
Very successful on your label.
Yeah.
He was arrested about the same time as you. I think a lot of people wonder what that relationship is like now.
Yeah. I know everybody wondering that.
What's it like?
I don't know.
This had a viral tweet sharing that Gunna really screwed over Young Thug and Lil Baby when they said, once y'all learn the effects of Gunna snitching in the YSL trial, then you'll realize why Thug and Baby will never be cool with him again. Once Gunna snitched out of the case, it's believed he gave up information on not only Young Thug, but possibly Lil Baby also. Just 1 month after Gunna snitched, Lil Baby began running into legal trouble. Lil Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit and was sent to the Clark County Detention Center, where he was being held on $5,000 bail.
I need 20 bands, call the number for me. Hey, security, the black guy, call the number for me. They locking me up for a gun, but I got license. Security, I give you 200 bands a year, I swear to God, security. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leave at 9:10. Nah, check me good, I got a in my nuts. Check me good. You on the count? I got a my nuts. Check me good. I got a Alright, y'all let me in that car. Shoot myself dead. Y'all fire.
But it gets deeper when you realize that academics leaked that 4PF was on the same RICO list that YSL was on, which shows the feds have been going after Lil Baby for some time and are now desperate to get him because Young Thug beat his case.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
It's getting really concerning for Baby because he started getting arrested more, and academics believes it's because of a RICO charge coming his way.
I'm gonna tell you some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fonnie Willis started targeting YSL, Fonnie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were gonna get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay, we got it. So the feds told him, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Durk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Durk eventually. Doing the math? You see why Lil Baby is moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county state watch.
It's clear that Lil Baby knew this was the case because he had been in hiding before finally dropping his Wham album, but he was still caught with illegal window tints, which he got pulled over for.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you over? These windows, they tinted. You can't see nothing out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. They give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
Alright, they give me the ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now, who are you? You say you
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen?
827.
You don't be want to have these. You gotta have tickets in Atlanta. These folk crazy. I take a ticket, then somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get a 10.
But it only got worse because he continued driving and got pulled over again, which got him arrested and thrown into jail. Baby called his lawyer, and he was lucky enough to get out of jail that same night. Although if the upcoming cases for Lil Baby aren't bad enough, his fan support is really low right now after he ducked a boxing match against DJ Academics.
Sold 34,000 the first week. How the you want 40 million, man? This is delusional, man. Atlanta looking crazy right now, man. Full pocket full of hoes. This is crazy. How you ducking a fade with me? They want 40 million. The is acting like this is Jake. This acting like this is Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fighting. Cause somebody tell, yo, have you seen this? Yo, this can't be serious, bro. Bro, I wouldn't be even asking for that. And low key, yo, I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. You know, I said whatever he get. I thought he was gonna be realistic. I thought Lil Baby is on some like he's gangster. So I'm like, yo, I bet. What's up? Let's like, cause I'm telling you, he's like a scrawny. I'm like, I bet. Whatever he get, just give me half. Ain't you a nigga? Y'all should be fighting for fun. You squabble up just cuz. I'm the one that everybody says probably never had a fight. Okay, you're my first fight. You get to knock me out for all this that I taught before and will continue to talk till we squabble.
It only makes Lil Baby look worse because he rapped the line. Academics guys think they can't get touched. But what's really interesting was the report. The feds have been investigating Baby, building a case of evidence against him. This new beef with DJ Academics will likely spark the first set of arrests in the 4PF camp making its way to Baby, because there was an entire situation between Academics and one of Lil Baby's goons, K Rich. As it was announced, Academics confirmed he got slapped by Baby's cameraman K Rich in Miami. Here's a picture of Academics' right-hand man with the police after the situation, showing the altercation was big enough to the point police arrived at the scene. But K Rich bragged about getting Academics on live stream.
So boom, he said something, bro, I swear to God, right hand of God. I smacked the shit, I smacked the right hand of God, bro, I smacked.
You smack Academics?
Yes, and then listen, after I smacked him, listen.
Yo, Lil Baby, eat a. I'm not even gonna address it, Lil Baby, you eat a, because I don't know this. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm getting that Lil Baby, because I've been waiting for this. I can't take it out on a I don't know. I'm up tens of millions of dollars. I'm taking it out on this boss. Yo, Lil Baby, if this is what you believe or he believe, both y'all eat a. Whatever y'all think, that's what it is. Both y'all.
With some fans asking what this has to do with Baby, Academics exposed how, beginning with the tweet, DJ Academics claims Baby's camp paid him $30,000 to chill on album criticism, then allegedly backdoored him anyway by sending K Rich to swing on it.
So Lil Baby gotta drop his new album. And I'm gonna start really getting on business. Yo, Lil Baby, you and your team paid me $30,000 to keep quiet about your motherfucking album. And I sat there and I realized, I said, well, if you paid me $30,000, there ain't no way you sent a come swing on me. Why would you do that? Don't make no sense. $30,000 you could pay for a hit. Why the would you send to come swing on me for pennies and to clean your balls in your drawers and then pay me $30,000? I got the receipts posted just. Why would you pay me afterwards? Cause y'all whole demeanor was an act. You a wave, and I said I'll fall back. I said I can't lie to, but I'll fall back, and y'all paid me to do it. Y'all paid me.
But with them going after Academics, he's claiming he wants $300,000 if they don't want him criticizing the new album.
Yo, baby, you gonna have to pay me to get off your for this next time. Y'all paid me 30 bands already. The price is now 300 bands. Straight up, the price done went up 300 bands. You have this who you sent. Yo, Lil Baby, stop the bullshit. You sent this to go do this bullshit. When I called you up, you acted like, oh, wait, what happened about? Yo, do you know this K Rich? I call every in Atlanta. You know what they say? But that's his assistant. That's his. Wait, he act like you don't know him? Yo, I talked to him. He say, pay me for your album tonight. Yo, I'm on your forever. Remember that. So listen, I'm only saying this because I think this little K Rich thing, I'm gonna go back and forth with him. Let me tell you this, I'm gonna cost your boss $1 million. I did this to the best of them, and I'm gonna do it to him.
But what's very strange is that Lil Baby already closed 4PF. However, K Rich claimed 4PF when he was going after Academics, which is making Baby nervous.
And Baby, you gotta respond to it. I'm gonna make this loud. You gotta respond to this. You're gonna either be pussy or you're gonna stand on it and say, I did backdoor that. Thought it was cool. When I asked you in the morning, you know what you said? So the first thing I said, yo, bro, you know what came up to me? He said some 4PF. You know the first thing you said? Yo, act, chill, act, man, you on that police. You scared of this 4PF. Bet, cool. I said, yo, nah, baby, like this was. So he's like, act, what? You acting dumb.
However, the biggest crime committed by an artist recently is David.
For weeks, we've been wondering just what it was that a private investigator named Steve Fisher found inside David's home when he was given access. The PI reported seeing, quote, items you would expect to find on a farm rather than in a home in the Hollywood Hills.
Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys.
A massive update was shared today in court during the Celeste trial. The police pulled a fast one on David, which gives them clearance to summon his parents to trial. David's family has been summoned to testify as witnesses before a grand jury in the passing of Celeste. This happened because 48 hours ago, David's Tesla was going to be auctioned off due to them not picking it up, but just before it was about to be sent to auction, he got it.
Let me read you what Steve recently posted on X, okay? David's Tesla, the vehicle in which Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found, was held by LAPD for only 48 hours to process evidence. After that, it was returned to the impound lot for David to retrieve, which he had not done until today. The Tesla was scheduled to go to auction tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., and I had planned to attend and inspect it. However, in the final hours before auction, David, or someone with power of attorney acting on his behalf, picked it up. When I checked last week, the storage fees were approximately $10,500 as the vehicle had been released and available for pickup since September 10th, before Celeste had been identified. I hope just the thought of that vehicle haunts David and anyone else that knew Celeste was in the trunk for the rest of their lives.
Proving that David is aware of what's happening and wants his property back. Due to this, the news wrote, David will likely face M charges for the passing of Celeste Rivas, and that's because the grand jury that's hearing the case will be asked to hand down an indictment, with Even Complex Music announcing the same information. They're speeding this up in court due to the evidence found inside David's private rental home. The news wrote, a private investigator reveals that an incinerator capable of burning at temperatures of up to 1,600 degrees has been found in David's home. This piece of equipment is actually illegal for Los Angeles residents to have without a permit or owning a registered farm. This resulted in news of investigators close to the police believe famous artist David will be arrested going into 2026 for being connected to the passing of Celeste. But the details of the incinerator make the case very concerning and make you question what their plans were all along. It's important to note that Celeste is believed to have been living in David's second and more private rental home. Back in February of 2025, David recorded a concerning video at the house where he talks about people passing and how he wants it to stop. The feds believe it was him processing what happened to Celeste. But more importantly, this video lines up with the timeline of when he stopped using his black Tesla and began using a new red one instead.
Hey guys, I know I haven't posted on this account in a little minute, but I just had some words to share with you for 2025. Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the pain and things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys not to be discouraged and not to lose hope and not to turn your face from God in these times of evil. And then it seems like just at the start of the year, it's literally January and all this stuff is happening. It's like the most insane, it's February now, but it's the most insane start to a year that I've ever seen. But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So keep that sound mind, 2025. Stay prayed up.
But throughout the entire investigation, it was reported that David hasn't been cooperative despite what his team said. David is not cooperating with investigators in the passing of Celeste. Police detectives have identified a second suspect in the case, but David remains a suspect. The second suspect is, of course, one of David's close friends, Neo. They finally managed to track him down, and after a failure to appear in court violation, they sent officers in Montana to arrest him. As this came with the news announcing David's friend, Neo Langston, has been arrested for failing to appear as a witness. TMZ reports that David is expected to be charged in the case of Celeste. It looks like Neo was hiding out in Montana or just trying to spend as much time as possible with his family before the courts came after him. The official arrest report reveals Neo Langston has been arrested in Montana on a Los Angeles Superior Court warrant for failure to appear for testimony. Lewis and Clark County expects LA County to begin the extradition process. Local news sources captured the moments when 7 officers showed up to the house to arrest him as they captured him being put into the back of the police cruiser. It's rumored that Neo knows a lot about the case and that he was possibly the person who last drove the black Tesla. But to further prove how close David and Neo were with each other, they'd show up to house parties together, lie in bed together, and do the Titanic pose. But the private investigator spoke on it and said he knows who the last person was that drove the Tesla.
You know who that person is, and do you believe that is the person that moved the Tesla?
So I believe
I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who the person, and I don't mean I can't say but I don't know who exactly was in that house, because it's just a report, but there's video, but you can't make a person out. But somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person that moved the Tesla? Was the last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her? I don't know.
This resulted in the news of, this in no way implies any type of guilt, but based on Steve's findings and David's social media, it's possible that Neo was the last one driving the Tesla. Neo has wiped his social media clean of David and does not follow him on Instagram. But new theories online suggest that Celeste and David began to grow apart from each other, and Neo might have gotten closer to David than Celeste was. With them concerned about Celeste exposing David, they could have decided they had to do something about her. But it gets more confusing when you realize that once Neo's involvement was reported, TMZ released a story with completely false information. Some people believe they're purposefully trying to mess around with the information in the case and confuse the public even more, because TMZ wrote Celeste was found frozen in David's car, which the medical examiner says will likely make it impossible to determine the cause of passing. The police still see Celeste's passing as foul play and can make an arrest even if the cause is undetermined. This had many creators talking about it.
For quite some time, a lot of people were curious as to when she could have passed away. If she passed away at the beginning of 2025, why did she only just start smelling in September of 2025? Well, according to what we are hearing from sources close to LAPD, it seems as if Celeste Rivas Hernandez was actually frozen for a period of time. Freezing up would preserve that for an extended period of time, and it seems as if she was removed from being in a frozen state and put in David's Tesla. And because of that, the medical examiner is likely not going to be able to determine a CL.
But this entire story was revealed by the official police department to be completely false. No one knows why TMZ created a very obvious fake story on the case, but we saw the private investigator release new information from photos on David's electronics. On the night of December 30th until the morning of December 31st, 2024, David and Celeste were together in downtown Los Angeles. This came with weird photos from his phone of them filming a music video in the forest, but also a picture of a shed in the middle of the night, which led the feds to wonder if that shed is a possible crime scene. But the investigator also released the last photo he's found of Celeste before her passing, where it states, 1 year ago, on January 2nd, 2025 is the date of the last known photo my investigation has uncovered of Celeste. It's important to emphasize that law enforcement investigators have access to more extensive resources and may have images or evidence from after this date. According to the image's metadata, the photo was taken at 5:05 p.m. on January 2nd. Location analysis shows it was taken in Baldwin Hills. The photo shows Celeste in a designer ripped style hoodie, but it gets very weird when people look through David's social media and someone said, is the hoodie circled not the one Celeste is wearing in that picture? Which shows what looks to be the exact sweater Celeste was wearing. During the police investigation, they also allegedly found this sweater Celeste wore on a live stream at David's home.
Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, big spot me. Yo, thank you. Mitchell.
I gotta sign with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
With them continuing to find more and more evidence that makes it look bad for David, the police made a move on him. It was reported. On September 18, David transferred his Texas homes into his mom's name, the same day Celeste was identified and found in the Tesla. Just a day earlier, police did a search warrant at his Hollywood Hills rental. A police call also falsely reported that an incident happened and someone passed at his Texas family home. When police arrived, they were met by David's parents, who said his younger brother and sister were upstairs. In case you're unaware, David's family's home was swatted.
No, out of all times for this to happen, as he's discovered in his car, after she's been identified, for there to be a potential swatting incident where somebody calls 911 with a fake allegation, a fake crime for their property, out of all people, out of all times, it's weird.
Well, it's weird, but it doesn't necessarily surprise me because this case has taken on national significance in terms of people paying attention to it. And there are bad actors that understand how to bring somebody by way of swatting. So somebody called the 911 system down there. They found the address online and were basically made up a story for the cops to go there. And then they went in, and fortunately the police were very professional and they were able to immediately understand that it was a swatting incident and it wasn't a legitimate call.
Clearly, someone was very interested to see if they could find out where David was hiding. Even the private investigator who's most involved in the case doesn't know where he's been.
Do you have any indication about where David is right now?
I don't. I have no idea. And it's kind of bizarre because his group has stayed so silent, what's left of his group, I guess. And I'm not even sure the conversations that the owner did have with his management in breaking that lease. I'm not even 100% sure his management knows at this time where he's at. I think his attorney might be the only one, and his parents.
However, it gets worse for David from here, because the day Celeste was found inside his Tesla, he did something you wouldn't believe. As sources claim, he hired his new legal firm and instantly transferred his houses out of his name to his mother's name. This is clearly to dodge any sort of payment he'd have to make to Celeste's family if he is to be charged and found guilty. However, a professional lawyer gave his take on the situation, and if David is charged for the crime, they will reverse the transfer of assets, which will make David have to pay.
You know, transferring these assets in the middle of an investigation, as opposed to 2 years ago or a year ago.
Right.
Could a court look at this and say, this was a deliberate attempt to, what you say, concealing assets, and they could breach it, they could pierce it, they could say, even though that you've transferred this into your mother's name, that was invalid. This is a way for, let's say, a plaintiff who sues him, or let's say in a criminal judgment to pay that fine. Can a court look at that and say, even though you transferred it, it's still open season on those properties?
Yeah, this is what's so puzzling about this. It is a very basic premise of law throughout the country that you can't transfer assets after the event happens that would otherwise trigger collecting on those assets. So we have rules in different states. Sometimes they're called fraudulent transfers, sometimes they're called fraudulent conveyances. There's a lot of different names for them, but the crux of it is you cannot transfer assets.
With the entire internet digging into David's past, they found an interview he did where he claimed he wants to quit music and live on an island with no social media in 4 years. Coincidentally, this would have been the same timing of Celeste turning 18, which would allow her to leave the country by herself.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying, why are you saying that like you're not like up there?
Well, I'm not there yet, but hopefully it's like even crazier next year. And then I'm going crazy year after year for the next 3 years. And then on the 4th year, I retire. And on the 5th year, I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib. No social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro. You'll have like the secret codes to the mansion.
Yeah?
You can pull up on every.
What's the secret code? Give us the first 2 numbers.
Absolutely
of the secret.
not.
But there's another interview which is extremely concerning because David was first caught wearing the same blue wig that Celeste wore from time to time. This could easily be a coincidence, but how many coincidences are there going to be until it turns into proof that David was very close with Celeste? It took a turn for the worse when David revealed he has an obsession with anime and that he made his music videos an anime story he wanted to create himself. He says he has an alter ego who commits serious crimes.
Basically an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego, and the story of the manga went like I was a detective and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden, and he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. So like when I was as the detective, I'd be like solving that I'm committing myself. And it was like a cool little story. I didn't think anything would come of it. Like it was in the vault for.
Someone tweeted about how weird the interview really is by saying there's hundreds of crimes he could have used as his example when describing his alter ego, but he chose to say that. One of the craziest things of the case is that David has yet to make a public statement on any of it. In fact, the first appearance of David being online was him playing Fortnite, with someone tweeting, "If anyone's wondering where David is at, he's lurking and has been playing Fortnite," as people searched up his account on Fortnite Tracker and realized he was actively playing Fortnite while in hiding. But people acknowledged how bad it must be for David if he doesn't even want to say anything about the situation. As some fans wrote, there's no way that's David's first response to all of this happening. If he wants to prove he's innocent, he should have done it in a different way. However, like the video, if you think David's guilty and if you want him arrested soon, because this case has been dragging out for a long time with no charges. Although Kodak Black's legal situation is complicated, it is very serious.
Hey, look, come here. I'm gonna arrest you on all right? This is just for the time being. Come on.
Kodak Black. Officials say Bill Capri, better known as Kodak Black, violated the conditions of his pretrial release.
Kodak Black has just thrown away his entire rap career. While waiting for his court trial to begin, here's how he's handling the stress.
But what is that?
Which is when the news wrote, Kodak Black will finally face court hearings about his charges of trafficking and possession. Lawyers expect the rapper to face a prison sentence instead of a rehab program due to him being a repeat offender. Rather than Kodak trying to clean up his act, he went live on his Instagram to say he was using the product that they make on Breaking Bad.
That must be off today because he eating good. What you mean? You mean like as in like I must be off it or I must like not be on it? What you trying to say? Whoever the his name, Mellow Fellow. You know me. I eat good. I eat good every day, all day, yeah, man. High or not, yeah. I'm being a. I tried it though.
You said keep.
I don't keep for real. But I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Man, everybody be on. It's rough in every. You feel me? That's why I said that. That's why I had said that, you feel me?
But his court hearing didn't go well when it was reported. Chatter inside the courtroom between prosecutors and law officials makes it sound like Kodak isn't being given another chance. It's time for him to face a sentence. But for how long? But Kodak didn't like it and began crashing out on live.
Yes. I like that. All right, DP, thank you, brother.
Yeah, you was born.
Next, I want to play some Drew Hill. I got Camper. I got Anita Vega, all on the way. My name is Yungeen Rodriguez. I'm in for Shelby Russian today. Hot 105.
And to make Kodak worry even more, rapper Boosie spoke about how his time in jail won't be easy. As Boosie spoke about what it's like on the inside and revealed how people will make Kodak's life in jail terrible because he affiliated himself with 6ix9ine when they made a song together.
You know, Kodak done been in jail, bro, so that was a detrimental move to him, bro. Like 6ix9ine, I'm gonna tell you this, Black, and I'm pretty sure 6ix9ine knows this too. 6ix9ine is the most hated person in prison.
Really?
You hear 6ix9ine name damn near every other day. When people looking at their case, this motherfucker 6ix9ine. Like he is hated, he's hated, bro. What Kodak did, he's gonna have to stand on that. He better stay out of, I got 9 calls from the feds, from the state, everything. Like, Boost, is it true? I know people are, bro, they gonna get on Kodak for that, bro. If he ever.
But it's important to understand why the charges are so bad for Kodak, and it's mainly because he was arrested on these charges in 2023. Because Kodak was once again caught on live with people announcing Kodak Black admits to being on drink, but denies being on other items after pleading not guilty on possession and firearm charges.
I was on the and I was asleep in front of my family house, bro. That's it. I was on that drink, sleep in front of my people's house. But that ain't illegal. I mean, so all that shit is just the process that it had to be in other mud shot. The process that even though like bogus is plastered all over the internet. Then on top of that, it's like, bro, like I'm Haitian. I mean, and then it's just like my error. Bro, like, nah, like, man, you better off.
Not long after this, the feds raided Kodak's home because of what he said and found certain illegal products inside. This led to his arrest, and while he was in the courtroom with the judge to determine whether he should be sentenced, Kodak's lawyer convinced them to give Kodak a rehab deal. Rather than letting him go to jail, they actually granted Kodak the opportunity to turn his life around in rehab.
Kodak, whose real name is Bill Capri, faced a judge Tuesday in Orange after turning himself in following an arrest warrant issued for violation of his pretrial release. Authorities said he tested positive during a random test earlier this month.
What is this? Unjust and not right about this situation.
Black, addressing the judge after the pretrial release technician testified he may have mixed up the samples between Black and another patient.
There's no way you tested positive. We can resolve that by way of a hair sample, and that'll clear you.
Judge Barbara Duffy then asking for a hair sample today to clear up the alleged mix-up, which Black refused, rather choosing to check into the Legacy Rehabilitation Facility for 30 days as part of his pretrial release.
While he was in rehab, he actually changed his life for the better as he began working out and writing new music. This is what led to his comeback song titled Walk, which got over 30 million views. With him finally being released, everyone wanted to speak with him and hear what he had been up to, so he agreed to a stream with Kaisenak. However, the stream went terribly for Kodak when he was seen moving around weird, swatting at things, and yelling random words.
You can't always say it, but at times when it feels good, that's when you say it sometimes. Yeah.
I thought your name was Bubba. Hey, oh.
But the next morning, he went on Instagram and tried explaining the situation.
Come on, say y'all people like who be on that, y'all be on all type of shit. Y'all be on shit. Say all type of stupid. But I take you one person and y'all be so hurt. Y'all wanna like it anyway. Yeah. Everybody else who be coming like on that timing, they ain't got no motion. They broke, they hurt, they something, or they trying to come into life some kind of way and trying to like look any type of look. Yeah, I could come in that way. Oh, I think you need help. Oh, look, bro. I try to like, and then you don't think.
But this didn't change how fans felt about Kodak and what he did on the live stream. His fans were upset that Kodak returned to his ways and broke his sobriety. But in a strange move, Kodak tried doing a live stream by himself, but that too ended in a weird way as Kodak jumped up on his counter and began tweaking.
This got the singing. What you want a Mac? Got some singing. Got it singing. This boy got some singing. This boy want raise you on your back. On your back. Yeah, stuck on the mat. Hey, stuck on the mat. Then a bed rest. There's a long nap. But she took it out today and you can't do it back. You can't help.
However, negative comments from his fans only continued to make Kodak feel bad for letting them down, which led to a downward spiral for Kodak. He appeared on Instagram again, but this time to say he was basically waiting to pass away.
Everybody getting while we waiting on other people too, right? Other people, they don't know how to let time do its thing. Hey, bro, like let time do its shit, bro. Time is the best, what you call it, whether it's gonna heal or whatever the it's gonna let, let time do its shit. You gotta be patient. Love is patient, love is kind. Like I'm saying, it makes absolutely zero sense, no sense at all to try to approach the situation with any type of aggression. The whole world on everybody on your man on your on everybody again while we waiting while we just down here waiting on one.
The reason some people think he said this was after a tweet went viral about him and how he has no one there to support him, as it wrote, "Every time I see Kodak Black, I get so sad. That man has like 4 baby mamas, and none of you greedy women care about him for real because why aren't y'all helping? Probably sitting around waiting for him to pass away." As Kodak basically said the same thing in the Instagram live, but this wasn't all from fan reactions on Kodak, because a wildly viral clip came out about Kodak Black, which revealed he was eating chicken while sitting in the road.
The wrong thing. Take a seat next to him. Take a seat next to him. Enjoy that food. Enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, brother. Oh, hold on, I want to be part of bro, I want to join that, bro. I want to be down here.
Fans reacted to this video saying, "Every day I see a new video of Kodak strung out, not even acting like a human. Is someone going to help him?" With another fan saying, "Anyone else afraid if Kodak doesn't get help, we're going to lose him?" But soon after, Kodak blamed the reason why he's so sad on the fact that he never experienced real love.
I know girl treated you right, never, bro. I never had a bit of love. I never experienced love before. I never experienced it. I never experienced it, bro. I never experienced it, bro. I never did, bro. I never did, bro. I never experienced love, bro. I never did, bro. I never had it. I never had it, bro. I never had this shit, bro. I never had it.
With him being a famous rapper, it's likely many people have tried to stick around him just to use him for his money. Kanye West understood what Kodak was going through and offered him his help.
Okay, so I thought Kodak was in Miami. I see he's in Atlanta. So I'm gonna flight down to Atlanta right now and do something. So anybody it's already down in Atlanta that knows him and knows anything about him. I know I said rappers and all that, but right now, I need y'all, man, to like really go and do something. Like we can't. I know y'all think I'm crashing out. Y'all, you see me talking, I'm expressing myself. And look, man, please don't. I know I said a lot, and just let me go down there and go help this man out.
But to further prove that no one close to Kodak is looking out for his best interest, they continued recording Kodak tweaking out in order to post it online rather than getting him the help he needs.
I'm Drake's favorite rapper.
Who?
I'm his favorite rapper.
You Drake's favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Nah.
He always say that. Even his people always say that. They always do that. Even when he, you know what I mean? Even when he ain't around, so and shit like, oh no, it's for real,
But someone else who reached out to offer words of advice was Bunk, who genuinely seemed concerned for Kodak.
But right now, man, we worried about you. You don't look too healthy. And from the outside looking in, it's obvious that you're a and I don't believe for 1 second you just doing for your own enjoyment. Nah, you trying to find something to fill up that void that's within your chest. See, I've been where you at right now. But by the grace of God, I'm clean. Them strongholds have been pulled down. Them chains are broken. So I'm qualified to talk about this. You got to make a decision, bro. You got too many people looking up to you. And from one father to another, you got to set the right example for your son. This coming from somebody who genuinely cares. So if you come across this video, you want to sit at the table, break bread, man, holla at me.
Not long after, a fan came up to him saying he loved him when he was sober, but this had Kodak responding aggressively.
Say I love when Kodak's sober. Change sober. I look sober. I know it's sober. For what? For what? Look at all this money. Look at all this cash. Sober for what? We young sober. Young sober.
The moments of Kodak not acting right just continued to stack up as he went out to a Baltimore Ravens game where it was reported. NFL fans are worried for rapper Kodak Black's health as he appeared off while showing love to star Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Hey Kodak, what you gotta say about the Ravens, Big G? I love the Ravens. Hello. Hey, what about that boy LJ, man? What you gotta tell the flock about that boy LJ, man? Yeah. Hey, that boy Yak in the city. Yeah, Yak in the city. I live out here. Hello. Yeah, Yak in the city. Baltimore, let them know.
But this marked a breaking point in Kodak's career because everyone knows he can't continue on like this. We saw Wallow and Gilly trying to give him advice as they met up with him, and it was reported Wallow and Gilly give some life advice to Kodak Black saying, "Don't ever doubt yourself. You got them babies counting on you."
Don't ever doubt yourself. You got them babies counting on you. There's gonna be times where you're gonna doubt yourself, you're gonna be in pain, but them babies counting on you. You gotta be here. And I'm telling you that because a lot of people get around you and they see your success and they say, oh man, a lot of people need you, and they yes man you. I ain't here to yes man you. You know me, every time we connect with you, you know I got love for you. Not because I need you, I got love for you because you're a young cat and I was young, Gil was young. Live. And I'm telling you that because you see that love that lady get, you see how you light up when I talk about your babies? Live. These people wanna laugh, they wanna joke, they wanna criticize. They don't know your pain, I don't know your pain. But I know one thing, them babies counting on you.
As they're referring to how Kodak has 5 children who depend on him to provide, and if he doesn't get his life back on track, he might not be able to anymore. But somehow, while Kodak has been going through this entire mess, he was invited out to the White House and he did a speech.
So like imagine a world if all of us was just one color. If all of us was just blue or green. Oh, if everybody was smart, you gotta have some dumb people. Oh, what if everybody was rich? Who's gonna take the trash out?
Obviously, this went viral online, and he issued an apology for the way he spoke.
I'm honestly, I'm sorry to everybody. I'm sorry to the people who I heard it. I'm sorry if you don't understand me. I'm sorry if you just don't like me. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to everybody that I've wronged. And I'm so sorry to all the times I made my mom cry. And I'm sorry to all the girls whose heart I broke. I'm sorry to to your mind, man. You know what I'm saying? For kind of disrespecting her and stuff like that. She accepted my apology.
She did?
But Kodak did respond to Kanye West eventually, but he had a weird take when he responded, with it reporting, Kanye's a real one. You know why he's a real one? Kanye the only guy who still likes Diddy. I'm pretty sure the Fed's gonna probably seize all that boy's accounts. Kanye just did some real stuff. You know what? I'ma do a collab with you so bro can get some money and stuff still.
Yeah. Kanye a real one. You know why you a real one? Cause like I'm some whole kinda like Kanye the only still did it cause he know he ain't a lot of the other look at me unclean yeah in why Kanye cause like